Morning, it's Patsy. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I love doing hashtags and VRs, and I find people's answers really interesting, so I love to watch them as well as do them and take part in them. And I think it's a great way of connecting with each other and learning about each other a bit more. So this morning I thought I'd do 10 questions and start a hashtag. I don't know whether people will join in or not, but they're all going to be questions that I like to hear from other people. Some of them may be done as a hashtag amongst other things, but I don't think this one has been done all together. If they have, I haven't seen it. I did try a hashtag before, but I think there was only 2 people replied, but they was great to listen to as well. But I thought I'd try again because it'll be interesting to get to know some new subscribers and new people I follow, in that if they do the hashtag, learn a bit more about their love of cards. So I'm calling the hashtag for the love of cards, and it's all card related questions. So the first one I thought would be, what was your first deck? What was your very first deck? It can be tarot, oracle, or any other form of divination, you know, as long as it's like the card side of it. My first deck was the traditional Rider-Waite, the one that everybody sees and uses to learn, I suppose. But that was the very first deck that I bought back in the early 1990s, and I've said before on a previous hashtag that my daughter now has that deck. When she wanted to learn, I passed it on to her, but that was my very first deck and it's still within the family. Number 2, my favourite deck collector. So what's your favourite deck creator? Deck collector, that's deck collector on my head. Yeah, what is your favourite deck creator? My favourite deck creator is Paulina Cassidy. I love her artwork, I love her style. So she would be my top deck creator, even though there's other decks that I like by other creators. She hasn't released anything that I haven't thought was beautiful, so she is my favourite deck creator. I want to say collector again. Number 3, what is your favourite system? Is it the tarot, oracle, Lenormand, Kipper, or any other kind of card divination? What is your favourite system to use? I use all of the systems except playing cards. I don't use playing cards. I do use all the other systems, and I tend to use them all together as well. But if I had to choose a favourite, I would say it would be the tarot, because I think you can get lots out of tarot for different things. And tarot is the first thing I learnt, and that is my main divination is with the tarot. So I would say my favourite system is the tarot, and it would be the Rider-Waite system as well. I've never really got into the Foth system or the Pip system, but it's something that I probably will at a future date. But at the minute I'm quite happy with the Rider-Waite system. I do tend to love that. So number 4 is number 5 is the last deck you brought. So the last deck that I brought was it was an oracle actually, and it was the Raven's Wand Oracle. Now this one is, there is a walkthrough for it, but yeah, the last deck that I actually bought was this one, the Raven's Wand Oracle. I done a walkthrough of this yesterday. I've only just received this, but yeah, that's a gorgeous deck. So that is the last deck that I bought. So it's not a tarot, it is an oracle deck. That's the last thing I bought. So what is my favourite deck right now? So that can be any deck, whether that's oracle, Lenormand, tarot. Mine is at the moment is a tarot deck that I'm really loving to work with. Ooh, again, I am doing done a walkthrough of this one. This is the deck that is something I'm loving using at the minute. I absolutely love this deck. This is fast become a favourite of mine, and it's the favourite deck that I love to work with right now. And I put right now because I think, you know, at times we all have different decks we're really enjoying working with, and that is one that I'm really enjoying working with at the minute. So that is my favourite deck right now. So the next question is your all-time favourite deck. So what deck is your all-time favourite? Again, it can be any card system. Mine again would be the tarots. I haven't got my favourite system. I've got two top favourites. Well, three maybe, because this one is sort of popped in the top there. But another favourite deck of mine, and it's always a fight between these two. And one is the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. I absolutely adore that deck, and that is one of my all-time favourites, but I haven't got that with me. And the other one is the Joy de Vivre, which I do have with me. So I can't really pick between the two, well, the three now, but the Joy de Vivre by Paulina Cassidy is one of my all-time favourites. So some days, if anybody asks, this would be my all-time favourite. Another day, if somebody asked, it would be the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. And just lately, I would have said maybe the Ethereal Visions. But I think, as a long-standing love of mine, it's got to be between the Joy de Vivre or the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. They're my top two, and I really couldn't choose one over the other. Like I said, it changes daily with me, depending on when you ask me. So the next question is, what deck would you love to own? And the one that I'd love to own and wish that I had backed is the Lightseers Tarot. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. When I've seen walkthroughs of it, it just really, really speaks to me, and I would really love to own that deck. So that is the deck that I would love to own. So number 9 is a deck you have that you struggle with. So I think we've all had these decks that we've bought thinking that, you know, we're going to love, and we really struggle with them. I've had quite a few over time, and I've usually just passed them on. One that I've kept is the Chrysalis Tarot. Here it's here, because I do love the images of this deck. I do love the images of this deck, and I've had this for over a year now, and there's just something about this deck that I absolutely adore. But I'm really struggling with it, you know, the differences in this deck to what I'm used to, and the system, I think, it's different to what I'm used to. And even though I'm loving the images, and all the name changes is a bit confusing for me at times. I think I have got the book for it, and I think if I read the book and studied it, I'd be fine, and I'd be able to get on with it. But because of my eyes, I can't really read, so I'm really, really struggling to connect with this deck, and I'm struggling with it. But I won't part with it, because one day I'm going to be able to get to the bottom of it, and I'm going to be able to use it, and I can't wait for that day, because like I said, I just love the images. That's why I bought it, because of the images, and it is one that I really want to read. So that is the deck that I'm struggling with. And then number 10, if you could have a deck tailor-made for you, what would it be or look like? Now, I thought about this one, and there's two decks that I would really love to be able to own, and I've never found one. So if I could have somebody tailor-made one for me, it would be either a deck for ancestral work, just to work with ancestral energy. I'd love a deck but did just that, and specifically made for that. As many of you will probably know, I am working on my own ancestors deck, but that's just you know, it's not to be printed or nothing. It's just a made one for myself. But I'd love a specific deck just to do ancestor work, and I'd also love to do a specific deck for spirit work too, because people who follow me on my channel know I do spirit readings with my cards, and I also do ancestor readings with my cards. I use two specific decks, and they're only used for specifically those reasons, but I would love a deck specifically made for that, you know, rather than having to use just a specific tarot deck. I'd love a specific deck. So if I could have one tailor-made for me, it'd be one or the other or both, because I'm greedy. But yeah, so that's my 10 questions. So the first one is, what was your very first deck? The second one, your favourite deck creator. Number 3, your favourite system, whether that's tarot, oracle, etc. Number 4, your favourite system within tarot. Number 5, the last deck that you bought. Number 6, the favourite deck right now. Number 7, all-time favourite deck. Number 8, what deck would you love to own? Number 9, a deck you could have, a deck that you have that you struggle with. And number 10, if you could have a deck tailor-made for you, what would it look like, or what would it be? So they're the 10 questions. It'd be really interesting to see if anybody answers this and see what your answers are to the questions. And I look forward to any that do this tag or this, you know, this hashtag. So thanks for listening, and I will speak to you soon.